Evolv Technology became a public company about 2 years ago and did so through, frankly, an unconventional fashion. So earlier this year, we decided that we were going to make a commitment to hosting our first ever Analyst Day. It was a wonderful opportunity to welcome over 50 members of the investment community to our company, to be able to tell our story in a consistent and coherent way across all these platforms in one venue. Fenway Park has been around for over 100 years. It's an iconic institution, not only in Boston, but frankly across professional sports. And the opportunity to work with one of our customers as a host facility for this event was incredibly special, and it was a fantastic draw for our investors and analysts. So let me tell you a little bit about the day itself. We started the day with Peter George, our president and CEO, who spoke about the company's decade of growth in front of the company.
We're able to hire some of the smartest data scientists, the smartest software engineers, really, really smart young people that want to come here. 93% of our offers get accepted. Today we have 600 customers. At some point in this decade, we're going to have 5,000. And we're not going to have 3,000 beaconing subscriptions. We're going to have 100,000. And we're not going to have $70 million of revenue. We're going to have $1 billion.
We welcomed Mike Ellenbogen, our Chief Innovation Officer, and of course our co-founder of the business, who talked about the secret sauce to our company, which is really the innovation heartbeat of our company.
This system, which was inspired by loss prevention systems that you'd see if you're going into Best Buy or Target, right? It's 2 columns on either side. You walk through it, and unless you're a geek like me, you're not paying any attention to it at all. You don't have to stop. You don't have to go one person at a time. You're just strolling through it with your spouse, with your children. It doesn't matter. That was the inspiration for what became Express.
Dr. Alec, our chief scientist, then took the stage to talk a little bit more about the technical differentiators that our solution provides relative to the competitive landscape.
So how does the Evolv Express work? So the system consists of over 80 individual sensors. They're constantly streaming images, RF data, millions of data points. But critically, we designed the Express from the beginning to be screening in motion. We process it and render a decision in under 250 milliseconds. And if there's no threat detected, nothing happens. And that's the beauty of the system. We get to put this number up here that we're really proud of, 600 million visitors. The vast majority of those visitors going through our systems, going to the venue that they're excited and planned a day around, never had to break stride. Our fields are capable of sensing both ferrous and non-ferrous metals, and they're actually optimized to highlight the differences between metal types and metal shapes. And as I mentioned earlier, we exploit motion to track these objects and aggregate data over a 3D volume, pinpointing threats in real time with accuracies that we can measure in inches.
Batting fourth that day was AJ Rosa and Betsy Fallon, who of course helped lead the company's go-to-market strategy.
We know now that we need 4 times pipeline in the beginning of every quarter. We need 3 times pipeline that following quarter and 2 times pipeline the quarter after that. If we're set up that way, we are very confident that we can hit our numbers and we can forecast appropriately.
We are scaling rapidly as a company. We've got more than 3,000 units out in the field now. We will have tens of thousands of units out there. We've had great success bringing individuals in who have guest relations experience. We're drawing people out of the very venues that we are going in and selling to, performing arts venues, stadiums. We do, in fact, have a number of people on our team who have come to us as former Evolv customers, which I think is a huge testament to the passion that our customers have about both the value that the systems are providing, but also what the company itself is doing, that people want to come work with us.
Jill Lamond, our Director of Education, then took the stage, where she kicked off some customer testimonials, but Jill brought a really unique perspective as a former employee and educator inside the Oxford School District in Michigan. She could bring to life some really tragic experiences that her community has been through.
On November 30th, 2021, our high school was completely transformed into a crime scene. We had an estimated close to 500 first responders that showed up. and we ultimately lost 4 students and 7 others were injured that day. And then I spent the next several months trying to figure out how I could possibly get children, and actually the kids were rather resilient, but adults, workers, back into that building. Evolv came to me, and it's really important for you to know how they came. I don't think I learned about the product until the very last few moments of that conversation. What we really were talking about was my needs as a customer, as a potential customer. What do you need? Is there anything we can do to support you and your community right now? And no one had ever considered that I was a human in this process until I talked with Evolv.
Next up, Anil Chakara, our Chief Growth Officer and co-founder, took the stage where he welcomed and moderated 2 customers from across our 600 plus customer base, specifically bringing to bear the Senior Vice President of Safety for SoFi Stadium, as well as the Chief Operating Officer for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg School System. And during a 45-minute session, Anil led a panel discussion querying those 2 customers as to a few things. Number 1, what is the problem they were trying to solve as they looked at weapons detection screening? Why did they look at Evolv technology?
For us, on an NFL game, we're opening our doors about 2.5 hours before kickoff. Most of the people were not getting into the building until after kickoff. Yeah. Our metrics, right, in our walk-through metal detector phase, at best we were doing right around 498 ticket scans a minute. And so that, and in our first year with Evolv, we actually doubled that number. And we were having almost 100% of our crowd in the building before kickoff. We had more than 75% of our crowd in the building in the first hour and a half we were open.
We've had a reduction of 31 firearms found in schools last year to 6 this year. In addition to that, we've seen a 60% decrease in our non-firearm related weapons, knives, tasers, blades, anything that kids bring to school that they're not supposed to bring to school. And the impact on teaching and learning is to the tune of, we were able to recapture from the previous year over 6,000 days of suspension and almost 40,000 hours of instruction.
Batting cleanup that day was Mark Donohue, our Chief Financial Officer. Mark walked folks in the room as well as on the virtual webcast through a discussion about our business model. He also shed a lot of light about our really exciting partnership, our expanded partnership with Columbia Tech.
We do a monthly subscription. We recognize that revenue monthly, and we bill a year in advance. And as AJ pointed out, we have strong contributions from our channel partners. Why are we going through the channel? Because it reduces sales friction, because it helps us offset some of the costs, because they're part of our service. They're our extension of our sales force. Columbia Technology is the contract manufacturer that we've been using since the inception of the company. They have become the non-exclusive distributor of Evolv Express for any customers that want to purchase the asset. This model will actually allow us to have higher gross margin, higher EBITDA, and lower cash usage. And I'll say it today, we think we're going to achieve EBITDA break even in the first half of 2025 with about 75 to 100 million in cash still in the bank.
Analyst Day is not the destination. It's really just part of our journey. It's our continuing commitment to providing full access to our management team and our technology to the investment community. We look to partner with the members of the investment community, and those are enduring relationships that last not just years, but frankly decades. Would welcome the opportunity for members of the investment community to come and visit and open our doors, and would welcome me here to our offices in Waltham, Massachusetts. We have a very active investor relations program, which generally brings us across the country many times throughout the course of a quarter. Would love to spend some time with investors. Evolv Technology is creating a new category, and within that category, we believe we're one of the fastest growing companies in all of technology.